In this video, we're going to take a map tour of the neighborhood of Cambridgeport in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Stay tuned. Hi, it's Charles Cherney, and we're going to take a map tour of the neighborhood of Cambridgeport in Cambridge, Massachusetts today. So I've got Google Earth up on the screen, and Cambridgeport is here. It's bound by the Charles River, MIT, Massachusetts Avenue, and River Street. So there's the neighborhood. And we'll just zoom in a little bit on it. It's got quite a bit of green space as a neighborhood, and it's, blessed by the Charles River as its neighbor to the south. So it's a dense and diverse neighborhood, home to approximately 10,000 residents. We take a look at it here on the map. Here again is the neighborhood outlined on Google Maps, bound by River Street, Massachusetts Avenue, MIT, and the Charles River. And as I zoom in on the neighborhood, now we're seeing it on a larger scale. You can see that Central Square, and there's a Red Line T station here, is found at one corner of the neighborhood. There's a number of shops and services along Massachusetts Avenue as it makes its way down towards this corner of Cambridgeport. And then running along Waverly and Albany Street, we're on the edge of the MIT campus here. You can see Magazine Beach, the park area, and that's right on the Charles River on the southern border, if you will, of Cambridgeport. And then here's River Street, its western border. Then you'll notice that there's some main streets that run more or less north to south, top to bottom, call it what you will. So we've got Pleasant Street and then Magazine Street running right through the middle of the neighborhood. Same for Pearl Street. You could say Pearl's sort of the divider. And then we've got Brookline Street running back in towards Central Square. We've got Sydney Street running back out towards the Charles River. Waverly turning into Albany Street, running out back towards Mass Ave. So these one-way streets sort of trade the direction they move in, and then the one street that has traffic moving in both directions is Magazine Street here in the middle, or towards the middle, which goes by Dana Street Park. Let's take a look at Magazine Street. It's a beautiful street, and it's nice that there's no telephone poles on Magazine Street. It's interesting what a difference that makes and how it makes the street feel much more inviting. I think the idea was to bury the lines to make that a very beautiful and inviting street, and it certainly is. So we're just looking at some lovely homes here on Magazine that I took some photos on a walk. Nice entrance door, wonderful archway. Look at that. There's a couple churches. As you see, here's one on Magazine Street. It's just such an inviting street with so many well-maintained, interesting homes, entrances. Look at that archway. Wonderful. And colorful. Look at the lovely mix of colors on this front facade. I was out on a fall day, as you can see from the trees turning colors, just adding to the appeal of the neighborhood. Wow, wonderful tree, wonderful front yard. It's just an amazing street, Magazine Street, in the Cambridgeport neighborhood. Almost don't want this photo tour to end, as the homes are also lovely. There you can see some brick sidewalk behind the white fence. I think we're back at the beginning now. So that's just to give you a sense of Magazine Street. So let's take a look at Cambridgeport on CambridgeRealEstate.com, I have this interactive map that allows you to experience the neighborhood. And we're going to do that together right now. So the tour starts in Central Square. Here's the Red Line T station with Red Line service to Boston in one direction, and in the opposite direction, one station stop up is Harvard Square. So you're well positioned at Central Square to get to where you want to go on the Red Line, which is great. And the Central Square neighborhood is part and parcel of the Cambridgeport neighborhood insofar as it's the anchor for the neighborhood for shop services and transportation. So anyone living in Cambridgeport is, happy to have this as a neighbor in the neighborhood. There's also, as you see here on the screen, a public library Central Square branch located on Pearl near Franklin Street. And it's nice that the city of Cambridge, in addition to the main public library in mid-Cambridge, has these branch libraries throughout the city, like this one, to serve residents, which is great. And then along Massachusetts Avenue in the Cambridgeport neighborhood are a number of shop services and cultural destinations like the Dance Complex, which is fantastic, with a bunch of dance classes on offer. And then there's some restaurants along this run of Massachusetts Avenue. The Mad Monkfish used to be Thelonious Monkfish, where they have live music. Phoenix Landing is a destination for soccer fans, or should I say football fans, who follow teams in the Premiership and World Cup soccer. It's just a great place to watch a big game on a Saturday morning with the time change. There's often a large group there. Another restaurant with Mediterranean fare, Viale. I think that used to be a Burger King, if you can believe it. And then there's a Clover Outpost. It's a 24-hour Clover in the heart of the neighborhood at the corner of Brookline and Massachusetts Avenue. So one of the few places in all of Cambridge where you can get something at any hour. On Brookline Street, behind it is Q Audio, where you can get used audio equipment and new, and get service from an actual person who understands equipment and is likely an audiophile. It's a great resource. It's such a classic Cambridge destination, really. If you think about it, it's nice today in the online world that we still have actual shops run by humans who you can communicate with in person to get assistance. It's great. Across the street is the Middle East. It's a restaurant and nightclub complex. And gosh, I remember going back in my journey to 2004, I saw a MC5 reunion tour at the Middle East downstairs. That was a lot of fun, and it was loud. And it's not uncommon if you go by late at night on a Friday or Saturday night to see a large line of people lined up on Brookline Street to get in for a show. So there's a long history of live music in the Middle East and the Middle East downstairs, and it's one of the few live music destinations in Greater Boston that's got a regular program of live music. Obviously, that was impacted by the pandemic, but they're back at it. Let's hope they continue. Again, along Massachusetts Avenue, a number of additional restaurants, including Veggie Galaxy. It's an old school diner with a vegetarian menu, which is great, good fun. I've got a video on that. If you go to the map on CambridgeRealEstate.com, you can see it. And next door to it is its neighbor offering Caribbean cooking, La Fibrica Central. And set back from the street is this small box experimental theater space that seats around 200 people. So it's nice that there is a theater space in Cambridgeport the Central Square Theater off Mass Ave here, a bakery further down. And as I pull back on the map, just to give you a sense of where we are, we're looking at these variety of shops and services on Massachusetts Avenue that are part and parcel of this neighborhood of Cambridgeport we're looking at. So again, it's all about having Central Square as a neighbor. The Asgard Irish Pub and Restaurant closed down in the pandemic. It has not yet reopened as I make this in the fall of 2021. So we'll see what the future holds. I mean, it's been challenging for so many during this time, and I'm happy that for the most part, people are hanging in there. Here's a local gym, VIM Sanctuary, that has an outpost here on Massachusetts Avenue. There's actually a full-service Le Méridien hotel in Cambridge, in the neighborhood, off Sydney, as you see here, Sydney and Green Street, and they have that beautiful roof garden that you're looking at on the screen above my head here, which is an incredible space. I had a client, I'm a residential real estate agent, stay here last year, and I picked them up for their home tours, and we did actually end up finding them a place, which was great, good fun. But it's not uncommon for people coming in from out of town to stay here, especially if they have reason to be at MIT, because you can easily walk to the MIT campus from this hotel. So nice to have a restaurant, a hotel in the neighborhood. And now we're looking at another restaurant, Pagu, P-A-G-U. And they've really reinvented themselves to, be available to people and to be of assistance to the community in the time we're in. And so hats off to them for their takeout and charitable enterprises. They do have outdoor dining even as we speak. And not far from them is Heartbreak Hill Running Company, one of the outposts for runners in the community. I'm making this in October 2021, and we had the Boston Marathon this year in the fall on Monday. That was fun. So Heartbreak Hill Running Company is a destination for runners, and it's great to have this shop in the neighborhood. If you like grilled cheese and arcade games, you're going to love A4Cade, which is a place to indulge. And again, it's nice to see them back at it, and I wish them well. Social Wines is further up Massachusetts Avenue. Used to be Central Bottle, and it's again nice to have a local shop catering to the neighborhood and friendly staff. Their next door neighbor is Flower Bakery, and Cambridgeport is fortunate to have not one but two flower bakeries. This one is on Mass Ave, and the other, shown here, is on Erie Street. And this is actually my go-to. I'm in there 2, 3, 4 times a week, and feel like I know the staff. They know me, and you can get a great coffee and pastry, and for special occasions, you can have a cake made. So it's just a great place. And I can't say enough good things about Flower. They're part and parcel of a group of flower bakeries, not just found in Cambridge, but in Greater Boston as well. And Joanne Chang, Harvard graduate, hats off for the energy that informs her bakeries. And this one on Erie Street in Cambridgeport is a favorite. I'm likely to run into you if you go in there. There are a number of green spaces in Cambridgeport, and here's Fort Washington Park, just across, if you will, from the Flower on Erie Street, across Waverly Street. And it was a historic site, or it is a historic site, I should say, because it was built by soldiers of the Continental Army under orders of George Washington back in 1775. And it doesn't get a lot of use today. I go by it quite often, and the occasional dog walker that finds their way there, but it's pretty quiet. Fulmore Park on Sydney Street, however, is a park that does get a bit more use. And here's some pictures I've taken of it. And it's renovated and well tended, and it has, as you can see, play equipment for kids, which is wonderful. Swing, sitting area, slide. Wow, it's pathways, nice entrance. It's just a super city park, and it exemplifies some of the lovely green spaces found in Cambridgeport. Here's another one, Old Morse Park at the corner of Alston and Brookline Street. And you can see on the map, just look at this, there's a green space here and here and here. I mean, there's just so many green spaces found in Cambridgeport. It's great. There's also an elementary school down towards the Charles River in Cambridgeport, serving students in pre-K through grade 5, part of the Cambridge public school system. And you can see on the screen that there's a little baseball diamond right next to the school grounds here. And it's always fun to go by when there's a game going down. I think we can all identify with that timeless feeling of kids playing, and it's a nice addition to the neighborhood. And the Morse School across Memorial Drive is neighbors with the Magazine Beach Park. This is a 15-acre green space. And if you look above my head here on the screen, you can see what a wonderful green space it is. And there's a pool and a boathouse and walking paths and place to sit and bike. And it's been well maintained and updated. And there's a boathouse. I mean, it's a great green space. It's the second largest green space in all of Cambridge, second only to Daney Park. And can't say enough good things about Magazine Beach Park. So you'll definitely want to, if you visit Cambridgeport, find your way to the river and take a walk through Magazine Beach Park. And the Charles River, as I noted, is the neighbor. And once you're in the park, you can find your way to the water's edge and appreciate how fortunate Cambridge, and specifically Cambridgeport, the neighborhood, is to have the Charles River as its neighbor. Micro Center is a retail chain computer store with a location here in Cambridgeport on Memorial Drive. And again, it can be very nice to step in here and get help from a human and to see the product you're imagining purchasing and purchasing it. In fact, I've bought my printer here and over the years been in for many other reasons. So it's a great resource. The Riverside Boat Club is found on the river's edge, dates from 1869, non-for-profit organization affording hundreds of rowers a chance to get on the river and row. And it's really rather special. There's quite a few boathouses on the river, and Cambridgeport has the Riverside Boat Club. Down on Memorial Drive and set back from the street, as you see here on the screen, is Trader Joe's. And not too far away is a Whole Foods off River Street, also set back a bit from the street. You take an escalator here to shop on the second floor, which is kind of fun. So the neighborhood is blessed with a Trader Joe's and a Whole Foods market, which is handy for people who live here. Another green space not far from the Whole Foods store. Again, it has nice play equipment for kids and a water element, and it's well maintained. It's just great for the neighborhood. Myself and my team, the Charles Cherney team at Compass, are engaged with helping people buy the right home and sell for the best price in this neighborhood, Cambridgeport, and the neighboring neighborhoods of Cambridge, as well as neighboring Somerville, and have had a lot of experience over the years in helping buyers and sellers. Getting back on the map, we're looking at Dana Park. This is the largest green space in the Cambridgeport neighborhood, and it's a destination for people who live in the neighborhood to come out and enjoy the park, and there's occasional special activities, and it's a very nice green space. And again, it's nice that Cambridgeport has so many green spaces. As you see on my map here, there's quite a few marked. The Amigos School is another Cambridge public elementary school for kids in grades pre-K through 5. You see here it's founded on a dual language immersion model, so it's English and Spanish, which is great. The Pacific Street Park at the corner of Tudor and Sydney includes a dog park, which is great for the local people who have dogs to come together and meet, and for the dogs to spend time together. So that's a nice feature of the Pacific Street Park. MIT has this large green space they maintain at the University Park Commons, close to the corner of Franklin and Sydney, and it's surrounded by MIT housing. So there again is a larger picture of this map that you can visit on cambridgerealestate.com to learn more about any of these destinations. Here's this page dedicated to Cambridgeport on my website. I've got some additional videos there. Here's the interactive map we just explored. I have some photos here too of some of the homes in the neighborhood and the architectural detail. It's a very charming, special place, Cambridgeport, as these pictures I've taken show. I've got a video here on my top 5. So it's a great neighborhood. And then I have a link here, as you see on the screen, to what's now for sale in Cambridgeport. And this is going to update in real time so you can get a good sense of what's presently available. And of course, I can be able to arrange to show you any property of interest. I wanted to share with you 2 listings I had in 2021 in the neighborhood. First, at 10 Corporal McTurnan along Dana Park. This building once was a church, and now it's a condominium association. And I listed and sold a penthouse duplex with a private outdoor space on the top 2 floors of the building. What a great photo this is that shows off the wonderful view it has onto the treetops and the sky and the neighboring buildings. And it has a lovely light-filled open plan, as you see here, just wonderful. And then I also listed and sold in 2021 the top floor of this 3-unit building, condominium, on Brookline with this charming entrance, nice tall ceiling and bay in the living room. And then this lovely open plan that included a set of stairs leading to a desk nook on the right and a dining area and an updated kitchen. And in the back, a bedroom, full bath, half bath, and a deck off the back. So there is some lovely homes in the neighborhood. And I'm just going to show you, all of these blue and green sold signs are properties I've sold over the years. And here we are looking at the Cambridgeport neighborhood on the screen, so you can see I've had the great good fortune of helping a number of people buy and sell in the neighborhood. So it's just a wonderful neighborhood, and I can't say enough good things about it. And again, my name is Charles Cherney, and I welcome the opportunity to connect with you by text, telephone, email, or in person as you give thought to moving to Cambridgeport and learning more about it. I'm in Cambridgeport each and every day, and I'd love to take you to Flower for a coffee, to connect with you, to learn more about how I can be of service to you. with your real estate needs. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.